Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and today I have a very exciting guest. I have Miss Hermine Bernstein, who's the Program Coordinator for Blessings in a Backpack. Welcome.
Thank you, Jan.
So I'm happy to have you on the program today. Can you talk a little bit about yourself and Blessings in the Backpack?
Myself is Blessings in a Backpack at this point. Blessings in a Backpack provides food for children who are served in school Monday through Friday through the free lunch program or other needs. And what do they do on the weekends? And that's what Blessings in a Backpack is all about. We provide food for the children when school meals are not available.
So how did you get involved in this?
Well, I really had no idea that the need was so great. And about 4.5 years ago, I was reading an article in People magazine that Blessings in a Backpack had just won the 2012 Charity of the Year award. And I said, well, let me see if there's a problem here in Frederick. And at that time, I discovered that there were over 10,000 children at risk of going hungry when school meals are not available.
Yeah, I think people in our community are very surprised to learn that a little more than 1 out of every 4 students in our school system here in Frederick County are living in poverty, and that these are primarily the students that you're trying to serve. So we are a wealthy community, generally speaking, but we have seen since the recession a real big bump up in the number of our students in our school system who are in poverty. And so this need that you've identified is to provide food to students on weekends or when there's a
school breaks,
a school break or snow days.
Yes.
Has really garnered a lot of support and really fulfilled a need. So how have you been so successful? Because I think in just 4 short years, you've really grown. So maybe you can talk a little bit about where you started and where you are today.
We started in one school at Orchard Grove Elementary School, feeding, and you've been there packing with us, of course, feeding 210 children. And the community has so embraced this cause that we have now grown to feeding over 2,500 children in 19 local schools.
Wow.
And it's extraordinary because we're all volunteers. We have 75 to 90 volunteers every week. And people come and they help us pick up food, they pack food, they help, on some occasions, they help distribute food, and it has become a real community effort. And I've lived here for 23 years, and until 4.5 years ago, I feel like I didn't even know where I lived. You know, Frederick has just so stepped up. It's amazing to me.
Now, how do you coordinate this with the school system?
Well, actually, we coordinate with the individual schools.
Okay.
We partner with the individual schools. And it really has to do with funding. The more money we raise, the more children we can feed. And the community steps up to help pack and do other tasks. But our schools are our partners in this, and our school communities. And they make sure that we have a place to pack, some storage at the school, a time that is convenient. And the schools are responsible for distribution because it's strictly confidential. We don't know the names of the individual children that we serve. So the schools tell us, like at Lincoln, they say, well, we have 300 children. And so we pack 300 bags. We're at Waverly, we pack 626 bags every week. So every school is different.
So can you give people an idea of what you put in a bag for the weekend?
I'm always asked that question. That's a great question. We provide breakfast, lunch, dessert, and snacks for every day the children are not in school. So they will get, let's say a regular 2-day weekend, they will get a, in those bowls of cold cereal, a pack of oatmeal, a can of Chef Boyardee ravioli, and all-time kid favorite, mac and cheese. They'll get pudding or applesauce or fruit cup. They'll get good snacks like pretzels or Chex Mix or something like that. And bars, a fig bar or, something of that nature. All the food is non-perishable, kid-friendly, and relatively easy prep. because for many of these children, they need to just pop the top off the can. So we're a little limited in that we cannot provide fresh fruits and vegetables. We'd love to be able to, but we can't because we pack Tuesdays through Fridays at every school, and we pack in grocery bags that are then put into the children's backpacks on Friday or the day before they are leaving for whatever break.
Right, so if it's a Thursday.
Right, so it has to be all non-perishable.
Now, what kind of feedback do you get on this program from school staff, kids, families, whomever?
Well, that's always been a challenge for us because of the confidentiality. So we can't identify specific children and say, well, this is what's happening with them. But what we started to do last year is we have surveys that go out, anonymous surveys to the parents and children, and named surveys to the teachers. And we've gotten wonderful feedback. Teachers have unanimously told us that attendance, attention span, behavior, social interaction, and general well-being have all improved because of the children. I mean, the fact of the matter is that children are at risk of going hungry for 65 hours from lunch in school on Friday till breakfast Monday morning. I mean, 65 hours. So some of the children don't have food. Other children have food, and we are supplemental to them. So there's a whole continuum of need. But, you know, just think about it. I mean, you know, I get hungry if I haven't eaten in a couple of hours, 65 hours at risk like that. So we provide an opportunity for the children to return to school on Monday better prepared to participate and learn. Just like you said, to access the education, the fine education that we're providing here in Frederick.
Yes, so I know that it's all volunteer and that a lot of the financial support for the food and what you provide is comes from the community. So I know you have fundraisers every year. So can you talk a little bit about how you raise money?
Well, we raise money from individuals, from corporations, thankfully from Frederick County government. We just got our community partnership grant.
Yes.
How wonderful that is. And we have events. We are very often, we don't run our own events. We have been very fortunate, and we are the beneficiaries of multiple events across the county.
Okay.
And we have, coming up, we have our Summer Solstice 8K on June 23rd. So that's our biggest event of the year, so we're very excited about that.
So the community's really stepped up, and I
That's
am
an understatement.
And I am pleased that this year, I believe for the first time, you are a recipient of a Frederick County Community Partnership Grant Program.
We are.
And that will help to provide food for 150.
150 children.
So,
I mean, that's remarkable.
And I know you have a waiting list, so we are pleased that we are able to help support that, because you are providing a really important service to the children in our community, because we know if children are hungry, they can't be ready to learn.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's it. And we have, as I said, we're currently feeding 2,500 children, but we have 400 children on our waiting list. Well, now we only have 250 on our waiting list. And we do have schools waiting to come on board. And, you know, we have a very simple strategy. The more money we raise, the more children we can feed. It only costs $100 to feed an individual child for an entire school year. So, you know, it really works.
Now, what do you do in terms of finding space in schools to store these backpacks and to really operate packing? Because I do think it's interesting for, it's a really kind of fun thing to do. You can talk and communicate with friends and others who are there to support the project when you're packing the bags. And but it does require some space and some commitment on the individual schools as well.
A lot of logistics go into getting all that food. I mean, last school year we packed just under 600,000 items of food into 57,000 individual backpacks. So our schools keep a small inventory at the school. We have storage. The YMCA has generously donated space to us, so we have a storage facility. But primarily, food is picked up every week or every other week and brought to the schools. Volunteers go in their SUVs and go and pick up food, and Dark Horse Toyota goes and picks up for the larger schools. They've been amazing partners in that.
So if people want to get involved, how can they connect with you?
Yes, please do. They can visit our website, which is www.biabfrederickmd.org. And there are lots of places that they can connect with us through there. And, of course, visit us on Facebook. Blessings in a Backpack, Frederick.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to really thank you for basically starting this organization and really growing it over 4 years and really making a big difference to the children in our community, which is important for our future success and our future prosperity.
Well, we are so grateful to the Frederick community. It's just been an extraordinary journey, and we still have hundreds, thousands more children to feed. And I just, in my heart, I know we're going to be able to do it. I mean, Frederick is extraordinary.
So, well, thank you. Thank you for your generosity. And I am pleased that the county could support you through a partnership grant this year. And I'm very pleased that we were able to restore our partnership with our long-standing partnership with our human service nonprofit agencies across the county, because a little bit of money sometimes makes a lot of difference.
Oh, it makes a tremendous difference. It really does. We're very grateful for that.
So thank you for all you do. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Community Conversations. If you're interested in getting involved with Blessings in a Backpack, we've just told you how you can do that. We have the information on the television for you. And so get involved. It's actually a fun way to serve our community and to make a difference for children and our future. Thank you for joining us.